Council, good morning. Afishiapa.
After saying nothing, come. Papa, what you saying?
Eradiadom, Behoyapa, and I was way.
Obada Daroma, Hon Susuya.
Ekasa Nache.
Yamiadum. What think when we never think when we are better Yamiad?
Very well. I don't think Council Bedase. You heard on tape. Speaker Bagbin and draw the revelation about the office of the Special Prosecutor and the level of strong statement will make you yes that office no any bill one more pass rano. He feels a lot of the roles of that office is embedded with the role of the Attorney General, and for that matter exercise someone that take it's almost become an exercise in futility. Office of the Special Prosecutor, no, Ebraso said you better reconsider now.
For instance, homosexuality, which is
the woman said institution there, and now say ready anyone or they can say a pa, and now say a cry. Being a quiet fast one. Ye sa embrano eye juma and I say ye sa particular institution no eye juma. As far as I am concerned, no, I think we have gone past the issue as to what I say is to say you set up the office of the Special Prosecutor and I said mama yen settle. Ye na edgy to at least our parliamentarians acted for and on behalf of all of us as Ghanaians. In here can say, Sir, Office of the Special Prosecutor, yes, set up to the extent that the first Special Prosecutor was vetted and all that went over it. Personally, I thought to say the Speaker's comments, was unnecessary. If I should be very blunt with him. You see, when you occupy a certain position, you may not be fully in support of a particular friend, but maybe our beckons they can wreak a lot of havoc.
Okay.
The young order of importance in Ghana, the first gentleman is the president. The second gentleman is the vice president. He is the third most important person or the third gentleman in the country. It's so oka sindia ewo near etimi ediba. Mema sama mekan on the street may be just ignored, but on a small beka, especially when he's even sitting, a very, very important thing. Even if he has said this thing outside of Parliament, if you be a friend, his views are being sought for he could have said this. But to sit in the chair as a Speaker of Parliament and more or less go to attack a particular institution that has been set up, I think the timing was so bad.
I see. Now, isn't it the fact is your best from a year the expectations the office of the Special Prosecutor na your work for that particular office. Now, up until now, many Ghanaians will believe want me and live up to expectation. Probably such sentiment, and I be a speaker and so I express it.
Well, just as I said, if he was going to express his sentiment as an ordinary Ghanaian on the street, to be a Mexiano or Maklana Mexiano, maybe Special Prosecutor who they saying, so what can I do? But when you come to make such a statement, now look at what is happening. Yenya, the first Special Prosecutor, he resigned. And then he made all manner of comments describing some people in very derogatory terms. Then we had the second Special Prosecutor for close to 1.5 years. Now in Chianeka, it had to take a certain member of Parliament to raise this issue on the floor of the House. And along the line, the Special Prosecutor, knowing very well, say, or the BB court, Nase and what the way is a crowd. he has other avenues, and they include launching an appeal in respect of that particular decision. So he could have gone to the Court of Appeal or gone to the Supreme Court, and even where the Supreme Court has considered, throws away any issue now, he could even seek for review. That is, if there is a need for that. But where that person chose to ignore all these things, now about organizing a press conference, more or less talking about how he is, in quotes, being frustrated. It tells you, say, there are a lot of things going on. And that is why I say in my opening submission, I said, no institution in itself is good or bad. Nor is there any law which is good or bad. But it all would depend on how the institution is handled or run, or how other agencies are, as I say, a boss institution, and if in the face of all these background, we now have the Speaker of Parliament coming to virtually throw the baby together with the bathwater. Virtually, you are undermining the work or the importance of the office of the Special Prosecutor.
I see. I think for that reason, it is not needed, say, as a Senka Speaker, Ekadi or Kanye. But
not at all. Not at all. Not at all. You see, so that we can Kanye, you will never be a you. There is one thing that I am a cardinal principle in life. I catch and say, we never so what it means is that you bet you can send dia as a can. Now when you're sending you now, they say oh baby. So yes, he might have observed certain things. I do not think say his role as a speaker only ends when he comes to preside over proceedings in Parliament and stuff like that. But he could also, be getting in touch with some persons via now some institutions. If the Speaker of Parliament should go and see the President and tell President, Mr. President, any man and why into me I be before be a amma or man anymore. Because you see, we should not be seen say or mana yebuno ye ninko phobi airport. Ye dear no Eddie ase no and I say ye dear no Eddie Manako Aquatisania. For instance, the other day, when the Parliament even suggested, so my Mufrano and because then we will get a home minister who happens to be a member of Parliament to defy this suggestion, even if it was not good enough, in order to let our Parliament to be seen to have a certain degree of authority. And I'm for the Obuebema Parliament, Obema instruction say, for instance, Naki Sing Ubiamra, but Parliament has suggested to say, Yen so, and that education minister no be brief for the Parliament. Into your parents, more hold on. If your friend say education minister no brief Parliament, over Yanka. So even if the idea is to still go ahead and reopen on the date now, amount for express concern, you go to Parliament on Monday. Say whatever you say to Parliament on that day. Tell the Parliament and convince Parliament why you think say the Tuesday following and only Wednesday next amount for the moko. But you defied. It is quite sunny on mana a woman. Yes, he a Bugana mine. But the opposition is not looking at anything in government, as something that they should complement. And the reverse is also where, even when the opposition says, "Here we are, yes, any view," no. Probably not to say too much. Look at this lithium agreement that I can say. Those who are speaking so much in favor of the lithium agreement say, "Hey, Papa, hey, people who are pro MPP." And those who are speaking against, of course, the NDC has come out. But for those who are currently speaking against it, these guys are anti-government. So you see, say yes, sir, Subana free honomo. Na yan say oh yenina efa ya yimra. Yenina ye bibi ebetumi am system na ye amanatumi akonenim e de aboa yenina. I believe that these are some of the problems we may be having. So just as I said, all the things are not speaker effort say ebetumi aba among this office of the Special Prosecutor no aye an exercise in to when the office has been set up, those things are now you also advise as to how to neutralize those things in the of course, the Attorney General's Department, but we have Yoko. Don't we have Yoko? The economic and organized crime. We have an office for it, right?
Yes, exactly.
If we are also having the office of the Special Prosecutor, a special mandate, and that is to prosecute corruption and corruption-related crimes with respect of persons who are politically exposed. And when it comes to money laundering and others, which is something which which Yoko does, the office of the Special Prosecutor doesn't deal with it. So if in the course of the investigation into a certain corrupt act, the office of the Special Prosecutor realizes, say, oh, there's a certain money laundering aspect in it, you have to give it to the Yoko. Meanwhile, let's remember, say, Yoko and the office of the Special Prosecutor, they have a certain delegated role from the office of, from the Attorney General's Department.
Okay.
What I can say. And the fact is that what delegating doesn't mean, say, let me tell you, when you go to court, and I will say a police officer is prosecutor, he's prosecuting for and on behalf of the Attorney General. And say, what is most important is whether the policeman will prosecute right and get the conviction, or whichever will be the result, provided he has done a good job for and on behalf of the Attorney General. It for me, say I didn't an exercise in futility, say an exercise in futility. I believe so. Once you have set up the office of the Special Prosecutor, all hands must be on deck to ensure say the bit just like the EFCC in France and Nigeria. Yes, Romo. Now EFCC, and be na set up our Ghana as Yoko. So let's help the systems, but not to always denigrate it.
Very well. Council, Mami now I say anope.